Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We're going to talk Browns and Indians today, and there's a lot to talk about. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What legendary broadcaster called Dodger games from 1950 through 2016? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Moving on to the Browns news. Cleveland Browns general manager Andrew Berry has been swinging in a heavy hammer at the team's defense during this offseason since the Browns' playoff run game came to an end against the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Berry has made additions at all levels of the defense, including Javon Clowney and Todd McKinley at defensive end. Sheldon Day, Malik Johnson, Malik Dowell, Damon Square, Tommy Togiai, and Marvin Wilson at defensive tackle. Tony Fields II, Anthony Walker, Jeremiah Owusu and Kormoa at linebacker, and Troy Hill and Greg Newsome II at cornerback, and John Johnson III and Richard LeCount III at safety. All that work is an effort to give defensive coordinator Joe Woods the types of players he needs to prevent the likes of Baltimore's Trace McSorley or Kansas City's Chad Hain, plus a few more notable players from converting on key third downs to help defeat the Browns. If Pro Football Focus is to be believed, that the work will pay off, especially in the secondary, as 4 Cleveland Browns players landed in the site's rankings of the top players at their respective positions. Denzel Ward, who is one of the game's top cornerbacks and a cornerback of the defense, comes in at number 8 among outside cornerbacks. Despite being drafted in the top 5 back in 2018 and playing on a team generating plenty of buzz heading into the 2021 season, Ward is often overlooked as one of the NFL's top cornerbacks, and he recorded coverage grades of at least 72.0 in each of his first 3 games of his first 3 seasons, in the league, and has allowed just 51.4% of passes thrown into coverage to be completed. Ward's dominance in single coverage with 96th percentile since 2018 has been particularly noteworthy, and that is absolutely true. Troy Hill signed as a free agent from the Los Angeles Rams and comes in at number 5 among slot cornerbacks. Hill is a newcomer to the slot cornerback ranks in 2020 after spending the vast majority of his time as an outside cornerback over the first 5 years of his career. That move came with plenty of success from both Hill and the Rams defense last season. Hill was the highest graded slot cornerback in the NFL, 87.8 in his 620 snaps inside the split between his grade within lined up in the slot compared to out wide was glaring. Hill earned just 43.9% overall grade at wide cornerback in 350 snaps. He should begin next season at the starting nickel for Cleveland with Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, and hopefully Greg Newsome on the outside of an improved Cleveland defense. Now the Browns got a top 3 safety when they landed Johnson III in free agency, and that came from PFF CLE Browns at pffbrowns.com. John Johnson III, the club's marquee signing in free agency, that is number 3 among safeties. Johnson has earned an overall PFF and coverage grades of at least 80.0 in every healthy season he has played in the NFL, and now he gets the opportunity to show he can stay healthy at the incredible level with a new team after his off-season move to Cleveland. Ronnie Harrison, who came to the Browns in a mid-season trade in 2020, is at number 30 among the safeties. Harrison's career wasn't stellar in Jacksonville, but the second he was traded to Cleveland, he began to look like a different player, and that was within a secondary that wasn't loaded with quality. In 2021, Harrison should be surrounded by a dramatically improved supporting cast and able to build on an overall PFF grade of 76.6 he posted in limited snaps last year. The Browns should be fairly confident that Harrison, Johnson, Hill, and Ward will all come through as expected this season. If Grant Dilpit can make it all the way back from the Achilles injury that ended his 2020 season in training camp, and the combination of Newsome, quarterback Greedy Williams, who also missed all of last season with an injury, can hold down the outside cornerback position opposite Ward, then the secondary has a chance to be one of the league's better units. If that happens, then the Browns fans could dial back the anxiety a bit, and when the defense is facing another 3rd and long in a big spot this fall. Now that's to say that we couldn't. I think this Browns team, I feel, is going to be much improved. The OTAs have said that the defense, none of the offensive players have been showing up, and now this is very true that the offensive players have not been showing up. And minicamp opens for the Browns next week, so they will have to start showing up, and that minicamp is going to be mandatory this year, and training camp opens in July, so the Browns will have to really work hard, the offense and defensive players, and it's going to be mandatory that they will have to be there. So I will keep you updated on this developing story. And Myles Garrett retired from basketball, and everybody knew he was going to retire. Well, a lot of fans did not like that, so but yes, Myles Garrett has retired from basketball, but he will still be with the Browns this season. So I'll keep you updated on this developing story. We'll get to the tribe in just a moment. But right now it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What legendary broadcaster called Dodger games from 1950 through 2016? And if you said Vin Scully, you are correct. Scully is best known for his 67 seasons calling games for the Los Angeles Dodgers. His run consists of the longest tenure of any broadcaster within a single team in professional sports history. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, getting to the tribe, the Indians on Thursday pulled back the curtain and gave fans a glimpse at the ongoing process of changing the team's name after more than 100 years, more than 100 years. More than 1,100 options and under consideration after more than 100 hours of brainstorming sessions with fans, community leaders, local influencers, staff, and front office teammates. For the first time since announcing last summer that they intended to move away from the Indians club, unveiled a timeline of process through no specific future benchmarks or dates were revealed. We have engaged our fans and community on many aspects of our team name process, said Indians Vice President and Communications and Community Outreach, Curtis Damberg. We felt it was important to share our research journey and what we've learned so far. According to a post on Indians.com, the process involves 6 steps. 6 steps: listen and learn. Announce, research, ideate, create, revise, and finalize, and finally unveil. The post detailed how the Indians at the decision in July 2020 to make a commitment to leadership in the community while also addressing social challenges affecting Clevelanders. Players spearheaded the process through a series of conversations with team officials during their preseason summer training camp, including a Poganut meeting with owner Paul Dolan. The club arrived at the decision over the next several months after meeting with corporate partners and community stakeholders, fans, and native groups to find a new name that unifies the community and brings people together. Thursday's post reveals some of the extensive research the club has undertaken since July. They have hosted discussions on topics ranging from what it means to be a Clevelander to what baseball means to Northeast Ohio. More than 140 hours of interviews with fans, community leaders, and teammates were conducted, and 40,000 fans were surveyed during the process. More than 4,000 fans signed on to participate in the name search. A team interviewed groups of young professionals to find out what they were looking for in a new team name, as well as local influencers such as David Gilbert, CEO of the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission. Cleveland is a city with a chip on its shoulder, Gilbert said. Clevelanders will defend their hometown to the death. Other influencers included artist Destiny Rodriguez, musician Stully, and random acts of kindness. Everyone and everywhere founder Ricky Smith. Felton Thomas of the Cleveland Public Library said he doesn't know whether or not he's seen a more gritty group of folks outside of Cleveland. And this city gets knocked down harder than anyone, and they're always fighting back Thomas said. I'm starting to run out of time for this. First of all, to make it a two-part podcast, but I'll be back with the rest of the story right after this. Stay with us.